Hey guys, what's up? Disney Nuts here. How you guys doing? So I just want to go ahead and answer a question that I get a lot when posting these photos on my Instagram account, and it is how do I get the shots with nobody in them? Now it all depends the park that you're at, and it all depends the situation that you're in and what you are trying to capture. Let me go ahead and explain. In the case of Magic Kingdom, for example, if you're looking to shoot something in one of the lands, let's say Tomorrowland, or you're trying to shoot something from Frontierland, you want to get that empty shot of Space Mountain. What I like to do, and what I found that works for me, is first have a plan of what you want to shoot. Okay, so for example, which area you want to go to. Second, try to be in that area before the park closes. Don't wait till the park closes to then go to that area. So for example, let's say we want to shoot Space Mountain. We're going to head over there, probably 30 minutes before, maybe even do the ride. And when we come out, the good thing is that these areas, when it comes to the lands, they actually clear up pretty quickly. 10 or 15 minutes and the people are all gone, which is great. Now, I mentioned these areas first, and I don't mention the hub because the hub is probably the one that we're going to leave for the last, because it's always the one that's always crowded and people don't leave 1 or 2 hours after that. So when it comes to the other, like the lands like Space Mountain and Tomorrowland and Thunder Mountain and Frontierland, you can actually wait 10 or 15 minutes and you'll be able to get all those shots that you want. Now be aware that once you're in one land, you won't be able to cross to another land. So if you're in Space Mountain, you won't be able to get to Splash Mountain once the park is closed, because they usually close the park from the back to the front, meaning that you won't be able to cross once the park is closed. So pick the area you want to shoot and work your way slowly from the back to the front. Now when it comes to the hub area, sadly that's the one that everybody likes to hang out the longest, and that one you'll probably have to wait an hour, 2 hours. Now while the cast members won't actually kick you out, they will nudge you out little by little. You'll start to see people from the castle start walking forward, and sometimes even stand in the staircases, and then somewhat walk a little forward to nudge the people out. So it may come into the case that you may not be able to get that shot of the castle without anybody in them. Now there is a way that you can actually take multiple shots and mask people out, but we're going to leave that for another video because I don't want to make it too complicated here. But I will say that take care of the lands first and make sure you know what you're trying to shoot, and that way you can conquer those things pretty quickly and you can get those shots. Another thing, depending on the park, to be honest, I've found that multiple parks have people having dinner, and sometimes it actually closes a little later, so you're actually able to get away with staying a little longer. In this case, for example, what is Epcot, many of the people, even though they have late reservations, they're still eating there and they're hanging out, and you can get away with shooting many of those shots without anybody in them. Now I've said many times on my stories before that when it comes to Epcot and shooting the pavilions, you'd be surprised how the pavilions are empty, but behind you all the people are walking out, so you can still get a bunch of good shots right after the fireworks are done. So that's another place. In the case of Hollywood Studios, to be honest with you, you can also get some really good shots because thankfully Olga's Cantinas, it's been open late a couple times, so you can actually shoot the Millennium Falcon without anybody in it and get those really cool shots, because the area will be closed, but does not mean that you cannot walk up to the rope and take a shot in that direction and get your shot with nobody in them. Now another thing that I like to do, if you can, is actually come during a non-peak season, because that is when the parks will actually close early. There's sometimes that Magic Kingdom will close at 8. It would be 9 o'clock. I get all my shots and I go to work the next day and everything is great as dandy. Sometimes when the park closes at 12 at 1, it's just almost impossible to be able to get those shots with nobody in them, because obviously the cleaning crew is right behind there. Their time is limited and they will nudge you out more than what they would do on a non-peak day. So hopefully that answers this question of how I take those shots with nobody in them. If you got any other question about the photos that I've taken, feel free to ask me on my Instagram account or here, and I gladly do a video and answer your questions. So again, Disney Nuts here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, because I know a bunch of you guys watch these videos, but you don't subscribe to it. So subscribing does help to get these videos out there to more people and share these tips with you guys. Until then, guys, stay awesome. See ya. Louis.